In this fifth session for the second module, let us talk about devices which have been used to convert the solar energy into thermal energy. So in the previous class we have discussed what are the different procedures of converting solar energy into the other useful form, that is converting the solar energy into electrical energy, or converting solar energy into heat, and then converting heat into mechanical energy, and then the mechanical energy into electrical energy. So this is what the procedure of converting solar energy into electrical energy by directly using the photovoltaic cells, or by the other way using the thermal conversion equipment. And few of the thermal equipments which we are using it to convert or utilize the solar energy is of collectors, the flat plate collectors. Let me talk about one such type of solar flat plate, liquid flat plate collector. As you can see it in the figure. So what happens, as we cannot make out what is a direct beam radiation or a diffuse radiation which are falling onto the earth's surface. So what we will do it is, you just imagine, my dear friends, you might have seen it, it was solar thermal water heaters which will have the panel, big panels above the roof of our houses, where you can see that there will be something like a roof will be there like this. There will be some roof like this, and there will be a pipe above that. There will be a pipe like this. See, something like this. You will always see this. You would always see this type, where this is a solar panel and this is a water conduit which will be taking out the heat, which gives rise as a also hot water. Is it clear? No, I'm just keeping one panel over here for your understanding. A flat plate collector is a heat exchanger that converts the radiant solar energy from the sun into the heat energy using a well-known greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect. I have always very much behind of this greenhouse effect. It is only because it is we the humans, we are polluting more in the earth atmosphere, which is creating a greenhouse effect. What do you mean by this greenhouse effect? Which causes the global warming. The more greenhouse effect on the earth atmosphere is causing global warming. It is only because the solar radiations which are falling onto this earth atmosphere has to reflect back. A partial amount of the solar radiations should be allowed to reflect back. If it is not allowed to reflect back, what happens? This solar energy or heat will get entrapped in the earth atmosphere, and this is happening because of the presence of higher percentage of carbon dioxide, which holds the heat for a longer period and makes us to feel heat more and more. So this is what we call it as a greenhouse effect. So this is one thing will wherein which the heat is getting entrapped. The same thing will encash over here. Now here in this liquid flat plate collector, it collects the solar radiations and captures solar energy, which uses that energy to heat water in the home. For it may be for bathing, or it may be for washing or heating anything, and can even be used to heat outdoor swimming pools and hot tubs. These are all the applications, one or the other way, for this liquid flat plate collectors. I just shall come to that working principle later. This hot water, definitely it will be helpful. So it is used for the bath, it is used for many purposes in domestic applications. It is used in most domestic applications in order to avoid excess use of electrical energy to convert cold water into hot water. Is it clear? So a solar flat plate collector typically consists of a large heat absorbing plate. A large heat absorbing plate will be there, usually a large sheet of copper or aluminum. Now why we are going for a copper and aluminum? It is because, my dear friends, a copper or aluminum will always have a higher thermal conductivity. When they have a higher thermal conductivity, which we popularly we denote it by K, watts per meter degree centigrade, it is only because higher the thermal conductivity, watts per meter degree centigrade, it is only because higher the thermal conductivity, faster the heat conduction. Lower the thermal conductivity, lower the amount of heat conduction. That is the reason why the immersion coils is clear, and these cables will always have the copper and aluminum. Basically this aluminum will have around 300 and plus thermal conductivity watts per meter degree centigrade, and copper will have 320 watts per meter degree Kelvin. The higher the thermal conductivity, it will have a higher a tendency to absorb the heat and convert that heat into a useful form. So that is the reason why they are extensively using copper or aluminum in this conductors. Both are good conductors of heat, which is painted and chemically etched black to absorb as much as solar radiations as possible for maximum efficiency. Now these solar plates which have been used, that is the copper and aluminum plates, have been painted in black color. It is only a black color, it is only because, my dear friends, as you know, a black is the one which absorbs all the radiations but rejects nothing. It absorbs all the radiations and reflects none of the radiations back. So when it is absorbing all the radiations and reflecting nothing, means what is happening? It is absorbing and it is getting heated and heated. That is the reason why, my dear friends, you feel more hotter when you wear a black shirt when compared to the white shirt, where the white is the one which reflects all the radiations which are falling onto that. That is the reason why a white always looks a white. Is it clear? If it rejects yellow, then object will appears to be in yellow. That is the beauty of this physics. Is it clear? This blackened heat absorbing surface has several parallel copper tubes. It may be copper tubes or it may be aluminum tubes, my dear friends. Preferably copper tubes, because copper has got much higher thermal conductivity compared to the aluminum. Copper tubes are tubes called risers. So these tubes are called as a risers. They are called as a risers. It is only because if the tubes are like this, because the hot water will be converted over here, the hot water will be allowed to flow through this to this upward direction, because a hot liquid or a fluid, any fluid which is hot, will have a lower density, whereas a colder one will have a higher density. So what happens? Colder one moves downwards and hot water or a hot fluid will starts moving upwards. So this is the reason why we always call it as a risers also for this copper tubes. The running length weighs across the plate which contains the heat transfer fluid, typically a water. Now let me explain this. Now, my dear friends, this is a hatched one is a thermal insulation. This thermal insulation is being placed for this casing. It is only because thermal insulation is being placed. Thermal insulation can be of anything. It can be a rubber, or it can be a thermocol, or it can be any material which does not conduct heat. Any material which does not conduct heat, that is what we use it as a thermal insulators. The insulators are used, it is only because whatever the heat that is being entrapped or it has been developed inside this flat plate collector should not escape out. It should not be any leakage of the heat. So we want to make sure that, so soon after the casing we will place this thermal insulation, then we are going to keep the risers or the tubes. Is it clear? Now you can see this in the figure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tubes are there, and between these tubes there will be an air gap. That is first thing. Second one is, at the bottommost portion of these tubes will be painted in black color. And even this absorber plate, this is the one which absorbs the solar heat. Now here the complete tubes will be allowed to flow with some fluid. So if you are talking about a solar water heater, then the water will be flowing over here, and these 6, what we call it as the risers. Is it clear? Now here, if you can see this, at the top of this collector there is a transparent glass will be there. A transparent glass is being made for two reasons. One is to allow the solar radiations to enter into that passage or into the system. The beauty of this glass cover or a transparent cover is that it will allow the solar radiations to fall inside this, and whatever the solar radiations which have been reflecting over there, any solar radiations which are falling onto any object will have a tendency to re-emit it or reflect it. So that's reflected radiations will not be allowed to escape out. It will restrict. It is something like a one-way traffic. It is something like a one-way traffic, my dear friends. So what happens? The solar radiations will be allowed inside the solar panel system, and the reflected radiations it is not allowing. It is just maintaining it. It's something like a police or a signals. It was restricted. So thus what happens? The beam radiations and the diffused radiations which been creating inside the solar panel system keeps increasing the temperature. In addition to that, the painted black color also increases further the heat that has been developed. So that all causes enormous amount of heat that will be entrapped inside the system, and that has to escape out somewhere. That has to be escaping. That should be transferred into the other form of energy. So what happens here? That heat is being absorbed by this copper tubes. The tubes will be get heated up faster. The tubes which are getting heated up faster like this. If you consider this as a tube, tubes will get heated up faster. When the tube gets heated faster, because these tubes are made up of copper, which is an excellent thermal conductor. It is a excellent thermal and electrical conductor. Now let me talk about only thermal conduction. Now it is an excellent thermal conductor. Then what happens? This heat is being transferred to the fluid over here. As long as the water gets heated up, the complete heat of this copper tubes will be taken away by this fluid. Once the fluid gets heated up, its density decreases. And at the rise, you will have at the top you will have a cold water. Then what happens? The cold water will be of a heavy density, whereas the hot water will have a lower density. Thus there will be a density difference. Because of the density difference, what happens? There will be a forces. There will be a tremendous amount of the current will starts flowing it. Because of this, what happens? The lower density, that is the hot water, will start flowing upwards, and the cold water will start moving downwards. It is because of the buoyancy forces. Is it clear? Because of the density differences, what happens? The buoyancy forces will comes into picture. That is what we always deal. That is, the Fourier number is the one which deals about these buoyancy forces. So because of this, what happens? The hot water goes upwards and the cold water comes down. So without any external aid, this hot water will come to your bathroom or kitchen or outside, whatever the purpose for which you have maintained this. This is what happens. So this is the physics of this. So then what happens? The heat has been completely transferred to the fluid. So this is a cyclic process. Then once again solar radiations will come, and then once again the heat will get entrapped, and this will keeps on going. Is it clear? And then even if you see a water tank or a small cylindrical tank which has been placed above these tubes or the risers, it is also been insulated. So it will be taken away. The cold water will be stored over there. Is it clear? Now one important thing is, now here what happens? Sir, is that water completely converts into our useful temperature? No. In a single pass it doesn't convert. The water initially that has been heated will go to upwards, and the cold water will comes down. Now this cold water will heat it up and it will goes up. This initial heating will not be of the temperature of 60 or 80 or 70. So what happens? Initially its temperature, maybe it was around 25, it will rise to 27 or 28 after. Then it will go here, and then when it is coming next time, what happens? This warm water will come, not the cold water. A warm water which is not at 25 degrees centigrade, it may come at 30 degrees centigrade. Then once again it will be heated up to 32 or 33. A small incremental. Then once again the warm water comes. This is how a circulating one. No, this is a reason why you get a very hot water. Once it is being used, say for example in the morning, you will get 10 buckets of hot water. Then you don't get hot water. What has happened? Because whatever the thermal energy that has been saved here, that has been utilized. Then once again it needs a cyclic process. Then once again there should be a sunrise, and then it should heat it up. Then once again you will get it in the evening. This is the beauty of that. Is it clear? These, that is what I have given it in the words over here. These copper pipes are bonded, soldered or brazed directly to the absorber plate to ensure maximum surface contact and heat transfer. That is obviously those pipes or risers have been connected. See, something like this, it will be connected, a series of, okay. Sunlight heats the absorbing surface, which increases in temperature. As the plate gets hotter, this heat is conducted through the riser and the absorber by fluid flowing inside the copper pipes, which is then used by the household. The pipes and the absorber's plates are enclosed in an insulated metal or a wooden box. As I was just talking about here in this figure, a thermal insulation. It can be anything which doesn't conduct the heat. That is what our intention. It can be an insulated metal or it can be a wood also. Okay. If you take, now my dear friends, if you take a steel, it may be around 120 watts per meter, 150 watts per meter. If you take any other some composite materials, the thermal conductivity may be less. Now here they may use a wood or any box with a sheet of glazing material. A glazing material is used, it is only because to reflect more and more light. Now here I will tell you. Now here the side walls are always used with some glazing material. What do you mean by glaze? Glaze is something like a shining. So that what happens, the solar radiations will be reflected faster. If you have a matte proof, if you have something like a wood, so what happens, solar radiations which are falling onto that will be absorbed and it will not be reflected much. So they will have a shining surface, that is a glazed surface, in order to increase the rate of reflection of the solar radiations. How much it reflects, so much of solar radiations, the heat will be entrapped. Okay, the glazing material, either the glass or a plastic on the front to protect the enclosed absorber plate and create an insulating airspace. This is what the distance between this absorber plate and the glass. This is where the heat will be getting entrapped. The air gap will be there. Okay, that I will illustrate it. I'll show you with one more better figure. Insulate. Okay, either glass or a plastic on the front to protect the enclosed absorber plate and create an insulating airspace. This glazing material does not absorb the sun thermal energy to any significant extent, and therefore most of the incoming radiations is received by the blackened absorber. The air gap between the plate and the glazing material traps this heat, preventing it from escaping back into the atmosphere. As the absorber plate warms up, it transfers heat to the fluid with the collector, but it also loses heat to its surrounding. Okay. To minimize this loss of heat, the bottom and side of the flat plate collectors are insulated with a high temperature rigid foam or aluminum foil insulation as shown in the figure. That's it. Now here you can see this gives you a clear picture now, if I am not wrong. Now you can see this is the sun from which solar radiations are coming. We don't have any differentiation whether it may be a beam or a diffuse radiation. We just want a heat or a radiation. We are just taking it back over here, and then some part of infrared radiations will be reflected under this one, and this is which is happening because of the convection. So what happens, a convection wind or a snow which is blowing against this glass plate, it just takes away, but whatever the heat that is being inside will be absorbed by this thermal copper tubes. Then this is a front glass, as you can see it here with the blue color, and then there is an absorber which will be painted in black color, and then you will have a number of tubes which we call it as risers, and this is the casing. Insulating material will also be there inside, and there will be a glazed layers. This is how it just happens, and then the thermal output will be taken back to the fluids that can be used. Now this solar heater, this is what the previous one is a flat plate collector for the water heating. Now let us talk about the solar heater. Now the concept remains to be same. There we just heat the water, where we heat here the air. No, because as much as of my knowledge concerned, heating air is easier compared to the heating the water. It is only because I don't. I'm not telling it is easier means without any knowledge it just goes up. No, it is only because when you compare the properties of a water and a air, if you compare the density of a water, it is 1000 kg per meter cube. When you compare the density of a air, it is 1.12 meter cube kg per meter cube. Where is 1.12? Where is 1000? That means 1000 times it is heavier. Water is 1000 times heavier, whereas the air is 1000 times less than 1.12 kg per meter cube and 1000 kg per meter cube. Now you just think which one requires less time for heating. Is it not? So based on that context, I told you. So let me come back over here. The air stream is heated. The air stream heated by a backside of the collector plate. In the flat plate collector, fins attached. A fin is a one device which converts, which increases the convection. Fin is an external attachment, okay, which increases the surface area. Thus it also increases the convection. They are nothing but a fins. Fins you can also see it in your bikes, where above this engine you will have a granular like plate like structures. So they are all called as a fins. Fins are an external attachments made for a heat source in order to increase the surface area, which directly increases the amount of heat convection to be taken place. Is it clear? Oh, fins attached to the plate increases the contact surface. When the contact surface is increased, obviously the convection, the rate of convection also increases. Even in the convection, there are two types of convection. One is a natural convection and the other one is a forced convection. Forced convection is the one which takes place by an external source like a fans, blowers, where a natural convection is something which takes place naturally. It is one better example what I can give you is, if you have a hot cup of coffee, if you allow it to cool, it may take 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes or 1 hour, automatically it cools down naturally. If you keep the hot coffee or a hot things under the fan, it cools down very faster because you are forcing it to cool. So that is the difference between a natural convection and a forced convection. So the back side of the collector is heavily insulated. Now this is the one, as you can see it in the sketch, the dotted lines, the hashed one, which is nothing but an insulation. The back side of the collector is heavily insulated with mineral wool or some other material which is highly insulated, which is termed to be highly thermally insulator. It's a high thermal insulator which creates which restrict the leakage of the heat. If the size of the collector is large, a blower is used to draw air into the collectors. No, what he is saying it is, if it is a big one, huge one, then what happens? A blower is being used. A blower is the one which sucks the air into the collector. Collector inside the collectors, if it is not, air is not going properly, then a blower is being used. Something like what the blowers which we use it in our air conditioning systems, similar one. Draw air into the collectors and transmit the hot air into dry air. Is it clear? The most favorable orientation of the collector for heating only is facing due south at an angle, at an inclination angle to the horizontal equal to the latitude plus 150. So basically what happens, they will always in order to get maximum orientation, that is maximum sunlight, it has been always oriented towards in the direction of south, so that the solar radiations which are coming from the east and west, in both the cases it remains to be same. Okay, the use of air as the heat transport fluid eliminates both the freezing and corrosion problems, and small air leaks are of less concern than the water leaks. Now my dear friends, as you can see it in the sketch, let me come back. The major difference, water sealings are better, we can do it better than the air sealing. Sealing need to be more sophisticated and more particular when it comes to the air compared to the water. So what happens here? Since the hot air, we are not using any water over here. Since the hot air, the air which is getting hotted, and it will be moving around this place. So what happens? Whatever the little amount of moisture content was present in the inlet air, the cold air, will be eliminated by the hot air which is blown against to that. This avoids a freezing or a corrosion problems inside the material. But it is not the case when you go for a flat top plate collectors for a water heater, where since it will be completely exposed to water all the 24/7, there are the chances of corrosion and freezing in the winter seasons. Now you can see it here. If you see the sketch, if you have a transparent cover, more or less it is the same thing. You have a transparent cover from which the solar radiations are falling onto this. Then the air tubes will be the air tubes or the air ducts. You can say it as a duct or it can be a tubes. It is only because since the air has got a lower density, most of the times they will use a duct which accumulates more area, more volume into that. Okay, now what happens? This air duct allows this air to enter at a temperature of Ti. Ti is the initial temperature or the inlet temperature of the air. This duct surface will be considered as a receiver. Okay, now what happens? All these solar radiations which are falling onto this I, that is given by tau into alpha, the solar radiations. I is nothing but the solar radiations which are falling onto this, makes this collector to heat. And then what happens? The receiver, that is the air which is there inside the duct, will get heated up, and the air which is leaving this duct will be hot. So the temperature will be T0. So obviously T0 will be always greater than Ti. Now, is it one pass it will be done? No. What they will do it is, in order to, in case if you want more heat, then what they will do it is they will make the channels into that. So it takes more surface area exposure. It takes more exposed area. So as much as it increases the area, it absorbs more heat. When it absorbs the more heat, the temperature of the air increases more. So this hot air is used for different purposes. It may be used to convert it into mechanical energy, or it may be used as an air dryer, or it may be used in the space heating, where in the cold countries you feel very cold. In order to use the air conditioning system, they will use the air heaters, basically. So these are all the few applications of the solar air heaters. Now, in collectively, solar air heaters, the major disadvantages or drawbacks of this is need of handling large volumes of air than liquids due to low density. So this is what large volumes of air than liquids due to low density of air as working surface. Handling problem is more because there will be leakages chances. Okay, thermal capacity of the air is low. Obviously, when density, maybe my dear friends, you know the basic properties of any fluid. The thermal capacity of the air is low. That is the reason why even this air is used as an insulator in our thermoflask. Even in the thermoflask, one layer, between two layers there will be an air. This air acts as an insulator. Why? Because its thermal capacity is less. When you take the same thermal capacity for a water, it is 4.18 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. But when you take it for the air, it is quite less. It may be 0.718 for a constant pressure, and it may be 1.12 for a constant volume. So it may be around 1 point or 1 around 1, whereas here it is 4.19, the heat capacity. They have relatively high fluid circulation costs, especially if the rock heat storage unit is not carefully designed. That is one major drawback. They have the relatively large volumes of storage, roughly 3 times as much as volume as water heat storage. That is what I was just talking. For a solar water heater, if you have the panel like this, for a air you need to have a 3 times larger, because it has to transmit more and more. More the exposure to the heat, the more heat will be gained by the air. They have a higher noise level. Obviously, because of the currents, the air which flows over here will always make a noise. Is it clear? That noise level may be negligible, but certainly it does make noise. That is important. The system has difficulty of adding conventional absorption air conditioners to air systems. Okay, the space is required for ducting. So that is what. If you consider a few of the applications of solar air heaters, heating buildings, that is what space heating of the we term it, drying agricultural products and lumber, and then heating greenhouses, then air conditioning, building utilization, desiccant beds or absorption refrigeration process, heat sources for a heat engine such as a Brayton or a Stirling cycles. These are all the few applications of the air heaters. A flat plate collector, if you consider a flat plate collector, it is a device to collect the solar energy and transform it into solar energy by using water as a working fluid. It is a heart of solar thermal devices that has many applications in a medium temperature range, approximately around 100 degrees centigrade. We may not reach 100 degrees centigrade during the domestic applications, but still approximately near to the 100 degrees centigrade from the domestic to preheating to industrial sectors. Flat plate collectors absorbs both beam and diffuse components of radiant energy. The absorber plate is a especially a treated blackened metal surface. The sun rays striking the absorber plate are absorbed, causing rise of temperature of the. This is what we have already discussed. Thermal insulation behind the absorber plate and transparent cover sheets. That is a glass or a plastic. Most of the occasions we use a glass. A plastic is also it is we use a transparent glass, a thin sheet. Prevent loss of heat to the surroundings. Few of the applications of the flat plate collectors: solar water heating systems for residents, hotels and industry. Desalination plant, separation of salt from the water. That is what we call it as a desalination plant. Desalination plant we shall discuss separately at the end of this module. Plant for obtaining drinking water from the sea water. Solar cookers for domestic cooking, drying applications and residential heatings. These are all the few of the applications of this flat plate collectors. These have been more popular nowadays. Everybody, the two things which have been more popular in India, I'm talking about the solar water heater by the flat plate collectors, and then the PV cells. If you go for a different campus, the big campuses, rather depending upon the electrical energy or electrical supply, what they will do it is they will have a street lamps. Above the lamp there will be a solar panel. It absorbs the solar radiations, convert that solar radiations into electrical energy, stores it and provides the electrical energy to the lights during the night times. That is the beauty of that. Okay.